What's up, guys? Welcome back to Fort Consciousness. I hope you guys have had a wonderful day. It's been very relaxing for me. Finally, after working every damn day, but hey, we all gotta pay our bills. We all gotta invest, so gotta do what you gotta do. So, I was really thinking about, we all are in our own places in life for the most part, right? We all have our own friend groups, we all have our own family, we all have our own relationships. We have our work relationships, we have our external relationships that you just have with random people throughout the day, the week. And I just was thinking, I was like, what orchestrates that? Like, what orchestrates the relationships that we have? I mean, obviously with family, we can't choose family, right? That's something we don't have control over. For the most part, at least. But I mean, in my case, I have 3 adopted siblings. Well, I had 3. My sister, she passed away last May, unfortunately. Beautiful girl, but they were adopted from Liberia. So my other siblings, Zoe and Bill, they were adopted from. Same with them. I mean, they were all adopted from Liberia. But that wasn't something that I had control over. That was more a decision that my parents decided a long time ago. But I want to go even further with that, because why, out of all the kids in Africa, let alone Liberia, that they could have adopted, why was it these specific kids? And I don't think there's a specific answer for that. I really don't. But having them as my siblings, I can confidently say that if it wasn't for them, then I would not be who I am today. And obviously that's not that big of a deal. But if you were to understand me and know me, then I would like to think that I'm a very in tune person, a very in touch person. Hence why I created Fort Consciousness. And yet somehow, through the relationships with them, I found myself to be where I am right now. So that kind of just got me thinking even more. I'm like, so then why did I have specific friends? Why did I have those friends that taught me certain lessons that I needed to put myself in a better position for the future? Or why did I date this girl and not that girl? Or why did I stupidly break up with my girlfriend because there's other girls that I was attracted to? I mean, I was young, I was stupid, I didn't know, obviously. I mean, it was a stupid choice, but I mean, it's just very intriguing to me that all of our relationships in our lives have brought us this specific moment in time. And I say this in every one of my videos, that you are meant to be watching this video for a reason. You were guided to this video for a reason. So I'm sure this is going to I'm sure a bunch of you are going to understand where I'm coming from and kind of what I'm just talking about. So then I really just got thinking, since we all know that we are just energy at the end of the day, right? Does that mean that we are vibrating at a certain frequency, attracting certain people into our lives, right? So then I believe the answer is yes to that, because depending on where you are mentally and physically, spiritually, and all that has to go into consideration. So when you're in a certain state of mind, you're going to be operating on a certain frequency, right? And it's the same thing with a radio station. Is you have one radio station that plays certain kind of musics, right? And there's more than one person who listens to that radio station because that's what they like. That's the kind of music they listen to. That's what makes them feel good. So it's the same thing with friendships, or just relationships in general. Is if you're operating at a certain frequency, there are other people who are operating at that certain frequency too. And when you're on the same frequency, you're going to attract each other to one another. That's just the universal law of vibration. That's the law, really, of cause and effect too. Is you're believing certain things, you're acting a certain way, and the effect is what you're going to get in return, which is being attracted to other people, or people being attracted to you. Once I kind of like started realizing this, then I started realizing that everything within our lives and the people that we talk to is all a byproduct of where we are mentally. And once I understood that, that's really when I began to find pleasure in being alone, because I don't want to be friends or associate myself with people in the area that I am in, because they simply aren't on the same frequency that I am on. So I've noticed through that, though, is knowing that and keeping in mind that just spreading positivity, love, and all that stuff is what you're going to get in return. And despite me choosing to be like watchful with who I talk to and whatnot, I still find myself having really cool interactions with people in my town, people I don't know, out of staters and stuff like that. And I credit that to the fact that I'm vibrating at such a high frequency, in such a state of like love and joy and positivity, and I'm getting that in return, regardless of me not wanting to associate myself with low vibrational people. Is I still can create situations in the external world through my thoughts and my vibration. So then that's really brought me down this rabbit hole of really being able to take full control over the relationships and the people that I get in touch with. And lately I am now starting to think more along the lines of I am going to attract very specific people that I want in my life. I'm not going to attract like if you're gonna go all the way in sports or business or something, like you have to go all the way to perform at your peak. It's the same thing with anything else in your life. Like if you want certain relationships in your life, then you have to give it all. You have to be able to speak to yourself and tell yourself, this is exactly what I want. And you can't like sugarcoat it. You can't half-ass it. Like you have to be specific. You have to ask for certain details. You have to ask for certain things that you want from these people in your life, because now that we know we have full control over the reality that we live in and the people that we communicate with, then we really have the ultimate control. We have the abilities to attract the specific people that we want in life. And once I finally really understood that concept too, life has become so clear to me, in the sense that it really is just a matter of putting out what you want and vibrating at a certain frequency to attract like-minded people. It's that simple. Like it's not as hard as you think. I mean, think about yourself at a certain point of your life where you're around people that you clearly didn't like, but you're only around them to please this false image of who you were, or to please your friend, to make them happy that you're hanging out with them, when the entire time these were not the people that you wanted to be with. You're just doing it for someone else to make them happy, when in reality you're just not enjoying yourself at all. And by doing that, it's going to continuously repeat over and over and over, where you're going to have these bad relationships, these bad friendships, interactions. All of it is just going to be bad. And you have to be conscious of that, because the more you put yourself in those situations, the harder it is for you to pull yourself out and put yourself in a better state of mind to attract better people, more authentic people. And I think that is I think that's a very important thing in life right now, with all this quote unquote division that we have going on. Whatever you want to believe, there is one factor or another, many factors, if you ask me personally, many factors that are contributing to this division between the people from the government. And this is not a political channel. I'm not making this a political channel. I'm just saying right now, in this specific moment in life, there is a lot of problems of division and lies and deceit, and this is from government people and just not common citizens. It goes both ways, but nonetheless, the government is supposed to bring us together, not pull us apart. So I think right now more than ever, we all need to be focusing on cultivating healthy and authentic relationships, despite the other person's view. Like, it doesn't matter what your view is, what that person's view is. That's your perception. That's their perception. So they're going to stay. That's their truth. That's what they know. So why are you going to try to change their truth when you should just be focusing on yourself? Focusing on finding specific people that you want to be with instead of wasting your time trying to change someone else's truth, when that's not going to happen. The only time your truth changes is through yourself. You are not going to change someone else's truth. You might plant a seed, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be someone's saving grace. You are your saving grace. You are your saving grace. So focus on the relationships that you want. Attract the things that you want in your life. Attract the people, the relationships, the money, whatever it is that you want. You have to be willing to be conscious about this too. And by being conscious, you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be very, very honest with yourself, and you have to allow yourself to be critical of who you are and where you've been. And you have to be critical of the relationships that you've had and why they went south. And if that's your fault, you have to take responsibility for that. You have to take that responsibility, or else you're going to continue with this stupid game in your head, justifying yourself being an asshole, when really, you don't want to be that person. You're just caught up in this moment of this conscious game that you play with yourself over and over and over. And everyone does this. But the second you can take responsibility for the actions that you've done, for the actions that you've committed, that's when you're able to really pull yourself out of the situation and start finding like-minded people and just more authentic relationships. It's fairly simple, yet we complicate it with all these illusions within our minds. And I understand. We all go through the same process in life, for the most part. We all have the same possibilities, the same chances, regardless of where you're born. It does not matter. Especially in today's age with internet, we all have the same chances at succeeding. And believe what you want, but when you have a specific mindset, a driven mindset, a mindset of trying to cultivate love and abundance, it does not matter where you are. When you are vibrating at that frequency, that's exactly what you're going to find. Based on the law of vibration. Based on the law of cause and effect. You know? I mean, think of it like this. Like, you have a pole. You have authentic relationships and you have non-authentic relationships. So whatever end you're at, or if you're in the middle, or on this side, you're going to have exactly that. So if you're on the end of authentic relationships, like I've been saying, you're going to have authentic, beautiful relationships that you will cherish forever. If you're in the middle, you're going to have a little bit of both. You're going to be struggling to find those specific people, but you're not going to fully get there because you're in the middle. So these people are going to be half-assing pretty much everything, but at least these people are better than at the very end, where they're just completely on a whole different path, doing the exact opposite of what you're trying to do. So I mean, being in the middle is great, but like I said, give it your all. You might as well just go the full length and really create the thing that you're trying to create. So go to the full end of this on the polarity scale and be on the end of authenticity. Once you can stay there and create a base around that, you will have everything you want and more. Especially when you're in a community of people who want to see you succeed and just be happy. It's so important, man. Like, it's really, really important to understand this, because if you're really trying to cultivate relationships that are meaningful to you, that have profound effects on your life as an individual, then you have to apply this stuff. You have to be willing to vibrate at that frequency that you want, to picture yourself as the person you want to be, whatever that is. You have to dream as if you are already that person, and by doing that, you're going to attract like-minded people. But you also have to be conscious at the same time of attracting these people, because if you're not imagining specific friends to pair with yourself and that vision you've created for yourself, then you're not going to have that group of people, that tight-knit group of people. You have to be specific with this stuff. I mean, it's kind of like the same thing about manifestation. Is you have to visualize, you have to feel, you have to anticipate all these things. I mean, it really applies to this too, where you just have to be willing to force yourself and to be honest and just to be present in the moment and really like find those people within your minds. And you have to do this on a continuous basis, because the more you vibrate at that frequency, the faster it is you're going to find these people. And don't overcomplicate it, guys. Don't overcomplicate this. You have to believe it's already done. You have to feel like these relationships have been cultivated. You have to attract what you want by being exactly that. It's simple. It's super simple. The only reason why you think it's so hard in your mind right now, and you're probably you're telling yourself all these excuses, and that's just because your subconscious mind is so used to this frequency that you've been vibrating at, and your subconscious mind is programmed for safety. So you're trying to stay in this comfort zone. So getting out of that is going to feel uncomfortable, and you're not really going to know necessarily how to go about this. But once you start getting in that repetitive state of applying yourself, and really thinking about the things that you want and creating those relationships on a daily basis, or giving your energy to relationships like that, then you'll find it. It's only a matter of time. It really is just a matter of time. It just doesn't matter where you are, okay, guys? Wherever you are, just focus. Visualize. And let it become real. And it's that simple. It's so simple, guys. And I know all of you can do it. You guys are super smart. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching my videos. If you're not smart, you wouldn't be watching my videos. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, give me a big ol' like. Drop me a thumb. If you want to dislike the video, I love all that stuff too. I welcome everything. Give me a subscribe, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Help the YouTube algorithm. And remember that you guys control everything within your life. It is all a perception in your minds, okay? And that being said, you have full control over everything in your life. So, you guys have a great rest of your day. Attract what you want to attract, and you will have it. Peace out, guys.